All right, bro. I need you to really listen to me right now because if you're in that place where you feel stuck, where you feel confused, like you're just floating through life, no real direction, no fire behind what you're doing, you're just kind of living life on autopilot. Maybe you're working a job right now that you don't like, but you have no idea what you want to do. And you keep thinking that you should be further along by now. Maybe in your 20s, maybe in your 30s, maybe you're in your 40s. If that's you right now, then this video might be your wake-up call that you've been needing. This isn't just about some BS motivation, right? This is really about getting honest with yourself. It's really about looking yourself in the mirror and getting the clarity that you need. Because at the end of the day, you already know what's not working. You've just been avoiding the mirror. You've been so distracted. And I get it. I've been there. But staying stuck forever will kill you slowly. And you only have one life. But we're going to fix that today. So let's lock it in. Let me tell you, man, when I got out of the Marines, I was in the Marines for 4 years, by the way. I got out when I had just turned 23. And, I thought I had everything I needed to succeed. Discipline, structure, grit. I had the GI Bill to pay for college. And I actually got certified as a personal trainer when I got out. But I didn't really, I was still kind of lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a personal trainer. But it was weird, man, because I had no more actual missions. I didn't organize my day. I wasn't really in personal development in my early 20s, and I felt so lost. It actually took me 7 years to finally finish my degree. I did personal training. I did security for a bit, and, I went to 3 different colleges and bounced around and did different things for work, and I'm seeing everybody else start to level up in their career. And I even hit rock bottom at least 2 or 3 times. And I still felt lost. I didn't really have a lot of close friends. And, I didn't really have that structure from the military. I didn't have any close brothers to lean on, no real purpose. And I remember being in my apartment one night, scrolling endlessly as per usual. I was numb. I was going to the gym was really the only thing that was keeping me sane. Like, I would go and hit some workouts and I would get good workouts in, but, the gym was really the only thing that kept me sane. But even that felt like I was just going through the motions. That was really the only thing I was doing. And, I'd wake up and I'd feel this heavy fog every morning. And deep down inside, I just knew I was meant for more. And I just had no idea, at times I was depressed, but not so much always depression. It was more of just emptiness, directionless. And one night I just sat in silence. No music, no phone, just me. And the truth hit me like a brick. I didn't know myself. I didn't trust myself. I didn't like the man I was becoming. And I knew that I was meant for so much more. And that's when I made this decision not to figure everything out. It wasn't to just figure everything out because it's a process, right? It takes time. But to start building a relationship with myself and prioritizing the relationship with myself. And that decision changed the entire trajectory of my life. So let's break down how you do this. This is going to be tactical steps, all right? So number 1, you have to investigate yourself, all right? Now, what do I mean by investigate yourself? So if you don't know what to do with your life, you're already asking the wrong question. Start asking, what do I obsess over? What lights me up? What do I keep coming back to even when no one's watching. Because there's a version of you that knows what he's here for, but you've buried him under all these distractions and validation seeking and doing what's safe, worrying about all the opinions of everyone else and all the noise in your life, man. What your friends, your family, what social media says. But you've got to dig. You've got to dig inside. Start journaling. Go on long solo walks. Take social media off your phone for a week and just be with yourself. Just be in your own energy and your own thoughts. And that's really where the clarity lives. It's not in some YouTube video. It's not in a degree. It lies within you. And you can watch these videos and it can help. But eventually you have to turn the videos off and just go with inside. Number 2, burn the old script. Now, you've been handed a fake script your entire life. You know, get a good job, like finish school, go to college, finish school, get a good job, buy a house, marry young, be normal. And now you're miserable wondering why none of it feels right. But here's the truth. There is no one path. You've got to carve your own path. And yeah, people won't get it. And you might disappoint some folks. That's just the reality. You can't make everyone happy. But everyone else, man. It's your life. You have to write your own story. And you're not here to live a life that looks good or it's the right way. You're here to live a life that feels real, a life of purpose, something that you enjoy, something that gives you life, a life that gives you life. So stop performing the opinions of everyone else, man. Do what you want to do. Start creating. Number 3, you have to embrace the unknown. Embrace the unknown. You don't have to have it all figured out. You do not have to have it all figured out. You just need to move with intention. Pivoting is allowed, and reinventing yourself is allowed if you want to. You could literally be one decision away from a completely different life. But the thing is, most guys never make that decision. Because they're afraid of looking stupid or starting over or what their friends and their family think, right? But you have to let go of the old identity that's keeping you small. And you're not the guy who you can become whoever the hell you're willing to suffer to become. If this is speaking to you right now, I want you to go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know right now. Just speak up. Like, drop a comment. Let me know which part resonates. You never know who needs to hear your story as well, because all you guys are super great just commenting your stories in the comments, and I really appreciate you guys. So share with me, because this is really how we build. This is really how we build a real brotherhood. It's not just viewers, okay? The 4th thing you got to understand is you have to live with urgency and intention. You're not here forever, man. And if you keep putting off your calling until you're ready, you're going to wake up at 40 full of regrets. So you have to start living life like your time matters. I went to a funeral the other day. It was an old family friend, my childhood best friend that we played together until we were 11 years old, and then he moved away on I think it was my 11th birthday, something like that, I guess, man. Or maybe it was my 8th birthday. 8th or 9th birthday, man. I don't remember. I think it was 8th or 9th. So basically the first decade of my life, he was my best friend. Hadn't talked to him in 25 years, and I saw him yesterday and I got really emotional. His dad passed away recently, tragically. And then 2 weeks, his dad just passed away a week ago. And 2 weeks before that, his dad's brother passed away. And I went with my mom to the funeral, and was driving with my mom. And my mom likes to talk about death a lot. She's in her 60s, and my parents seem to be in pretty good health. But I got really emotional because of how much I love my mom. And, I've actually had a lot of dreams about death. I think about death a good bit. I've had a lot of dreams about death over the past year as I've started YouTube in the last year. Really intense stuff, man. And it felt so real. And, I don't think about death every day or anything like that, but I think I got this perspective. I think God gave me these dreams so that way it felt so real. So that way I can give value to today, that today matters. What you're doing today matters. Every second matters. Every person in your life, appreciate them, love them, value them, be there for them. Because life is so short, man. We're not promised a year from now, 5 years from now, not even tomorrow. Live life like it's your last day, because that's really all that we have. So if you don't think about death, I'm not asking you to be morbid and think about it all the time, but you should think about it every now and then. Because you are going to die one day. And the only thing that matters is what you did when you were here and the impact that you had and the legacy that you leave, and living a life that's worth remembering, a life that's fulfilled, and how you impacted other people, and did you have fun as well, man? Live your life. Start living like your time matters. You don't need a perfect 10-year plan, but you need to ask, what matters right now? What would I do if I stopped caring about what anyone thought and then go all in on that thing? And don't half-ass it. Don't second guess it. Live like your future self is watching right now, because he is. And ask yourself, if tomorrow wasn't promised, would I still do what I'm about to do today if there was no tomorrow? If the answer is no, then you're not truly living, man. You need to change some shit. And it's a process, like I said, and then you have to start to design the new you and living your life like in alignment. Now, this part is tactical for you, okay? Look around, man. Look around. Your life set up right now, what you're doing, the people in your life, where you live. Your life is a reflection of your environment. Everything that's going on with your life, how much money you have, what you're doing for work, everything. Your energy, your room, your phone, your social circle, all this stuff. All of it's either helping you build or it's keeping you stuck. So you have to set your space up like a man with a mission. You've got to create rituals. You've got to build systems. And you've got to surround yourself with people who uplift you, people who are positive, people who inspire you, who push you to grow, people who stretch you. Not just people who tell you what you want to hear and validate you. You're not a robot. You're a weapon, and you have to look at yourself like you've got to make yourself into a weapon. And, just like an actual weapon that we, use in the military, we do, regular weapons maintenance and all this kind of stuff, sharpening, right? You have to do maintenance on yourself and clean up your life. And make sure that your life is always aligning with your vision of where you want to be, where you ultimately want to be. And then we have to build real confidence. How do we build confidence? You don't build confidence by reading affirmations or watching more motivational content, right? You build it by doing hard things consistently, and stacking the wins in your life. Stacking wins, doing stuff that's hard, hitting a workout, building your body, learning, reading, trying something new, learning a skill set, building on a skill set. And you build confidence by honoring your word to yourself, by pushing through when it sucks, by being the kind of man you'd actually respect. Like zooming out, right? And pretending like you can actually watch your life and how you're acting in your day-to-day life. Bird's eye view. Step outside of yourself. And would you actually want to watch your life? Would you respect that guy? Now, I'll be honest, I have done some plant medicines over the years, like psilocybin, mushrooms, plants, right? YouTube, not going to be too crazy with what I talk about, but I've definitely experimented with certain plant medicines and psychedelics that have really opened my eyes, expanded my consciousness, and been able to give me a intangibly valuable perspective on myself, life, and others, man. I'm not saying that's for everyone, but it has been a valuable tool that's helped me a lot and given me so much clarity in my life. Every single little thing matters too. Everything counts, right? It's every rep in the gym. It's in the details of the things and how you live your life. Every disciplined morning, how you structure your day. Every time you say no to a distraction in a time where it could not be easier to be distracted with social media and porn and video games and Netflix and our phone and it's everything, man. It's a drug. It's literally the most toxic drug we have in society right now. And it could not be easier to get thrown off path. But remember, it's these times, these moments, every time you say no to distraction, you are forging the man you were always meant to be. And then you have to anchor to purpose. Now, what do I mean by anchor to purpose? Listen, you were designed to live with purpose, to build, to lead, to impact others. And your soul is literally starving without it. You know, people talk about happiness. I'm not really happy. How do I find happiness? You find happiness through fulfillment, right? Which is through purpose, which is doing something that's really meaningful to you where you can help serve others. It's giving your gifts that you discover to the world. And that's why so many people don't feel happy or feel directionless and lost, because your soul is starving without purpose. And that's why nothing feels satisfying for long, because it's not connected to something deeper. Your purpose doesn't have to be flashy. It just has to be real. And people chase the materialistic things and all the external things and pleasures, and then they realize that just doesn't really actually bring you fulfillment at the end of the day. And you know, for me, my purpose, it's this. It's talking to guys like you. It's helping the younger version of myself and other guys around the same age, and even some guys that are older. I know some of you guys out here, 30s, 40s, and 50s. But I really made this channel to be the older brother, the older mentor that I never had. Because I had to figure everything out on my own. I didn't really have a dad, to guide me and lead me along in my life. And I want to help you avoid the same pain that I felt at a younger age. So what is your purpose for you? What is it for you? What do you want to be known for? And what would your younger self be proud of? What would your future self thank you for? And you can imagine a year from now, just imagine that. You could be in the same exact place that you're in right now. Still stuck, still lost, still overthinking, still miserable, hating your job when you wake up every single day, going through life on autopilot, completely sucked into all the addictions and dopamine depleted. Or you could be building. Waking up with clarity. Doing meaningful work. And surrounded by people who actually get you. Leading, forging your own path instead of following someone else's or what they thought and want you to do. But it starts with one decision. To stop waiting and start becoming. It starts with you, man. So stop doubting, stop delaying. This is your shot right now. Become the ascended man. Let's go, man. If this hit home for you, I want you to hit the like button. Comment down below. Let me know your life story, what you're going through. I read every single comment. I try to respond to as many as I can. But let me know, man. And I also do offer one-to-one coaching calls as well, video calls for an hour. If you're interested in doing that, man, my email is in the video description, also in my bio. Shoot me a message. Let's connect. Let's come up with a personalized game plan and get you some answers. But until next time, until tomorrow, catch you later.